Hey you, I'm Anissa. Welcome to Create to Liberate. We're talking about releasing attachment to our desires. Stop clinging to your desires. Stop obsessing over your desires. Learn to have faith that your desires are actually being fulfilled. If not them, then something better. Is a reminder to myself constantly. It always changes what we're desiring. Sometimes it's people, sometimes it's a place, sometimes it's a thing. Continues to shift. And it's funny that sometimes we are so forgetful. We're so forgetful of these experiences that we have, and we have to be taught the same lesson in different forms and shapes and nuances until we get it. And I think I've gotten this. As always, I share wisdom from my own lived experiences. I believe we're all each other's mirrors. We provide a mirror to each other to be able to see ourselves more clearly and ideally empower each other. If you enjoy this video, amazing, hit the like button. If you're listening on audio, leave a little review. We are talking about the subconscious, shadow work, doing self-inquiry, talking about mindfulness, embodying being our higher version of self more regularly, if not aspiring towards that in this lifetime, and tapping into our creative feminine energy. Create to Liberate was the original name of this podcast, and I feel like it's still relevant because actually, it was No Starving Artist, and then it was Create to Liberate. But either way, it's all about feminine energy, Shakti energy, allowing the beingness of life. So in the topic of desiring things so incredibly that we have a blindsidedness towards other things in life, I've done this multiple times, or maybe you just have desires that feel relevant, they feel pressing, they feel like something. Well, maybe you've experienced in life being humbled on that journey towards your desire, being humbled again and again, and realizing at achieving or experiencing your desire or not experiencing it, that you didn't need to beat yourself up along that journey. That often in life, we don't need to create additional suffering for ourselves in moving towards desires. We don't need to be so hard on ourselves in moving forward. We can actually allow way more flow. We can allow more ease. We can stay more present, even if we have a direction that we've decided upon. I'll share a story about how this became irrelevant to me. I'm laughing because I flashed you with my tie-dye on tie-dye. And I do feel like that is tied into this story, and we'll see how. Well, I just got back from Portugal, and it was amazing. I spent about 12-ish days there with my family and one of my best friends from Greece. She joined, and if I admit to you that I was a little excited about this trip because I was also exploring it as a home destination, then please don't judge me, because I've already gone on my healthy home finding journey. It was a whole thing on TikTok. But desire continues to find us. I had a desire. I was like, could I live in Portugal? I was questioning LA. I said, Portugal, great culture, more of a matriarchal culture, more appreciation for beauty, more soulful. So I had this lens when I was doing this trip, even though it was about being with family and my best friend. I was like, could I live here? Could I live here? Could I live here? I arrived in Lisbon, and I was just scanning everything. Could I live here? Does this have the things I need? I was in this mode of operating that is clearly part of my personality, and maybe it's a part of yours. If you get fixated on a desire, you say, is this going to be my next home? Do I want to relocate? You start asking these questions. Then you start looking through a lens of that perspective. You say, I'm looking for my soulmate. You start looking at people through this like lens of that perspective. And what you do with these focal points, you block out the present. You block out what just is. So the first few days I was doing this, I was like, maybe it's this town, maybe it's this town. I was exploring and going about being there. And a few days in, I was just like, I'm just going to actually enjoy being with my family, feeling the belonging that is us having dinners together. I haven't been with my mom and my brother together in 4 years. And to have the addition of my best friend there with me, who's a sister to me, that was home. I'd found belonging. the home of a geographical move wasn't necessary. I was in the company of the people that I loved. That became pronounced to me. Not only that, continued to venture around Portugal, beautiful country, but it was cold. This is November. It was rainy. I was like, what am I? No, I have a good thing going on in LA. I became more appreciative over time of the course of being there, of what I had at home. And with the dropping of that lens of fixation on, could this be my home? Could this be my home? I was able to just appreciate what it was providing me with, what contrasts it was providing me with, the experience of the present. And me and my best friend, at the end of our time together, we pulled cards. We did a oracle card pull from my deck and another deck. And we had done this at the end of our time together in July. And asked for any guidance on things we can reflect upon in this time together. And the guidance card was around our inner conflict. It was really delivering to us clarity on the fact that we came into this time together with a lot of creating of inner conflict of, should I move? Should I move? She's in that contemplation too. And how much that was taking us away from the fucking richness of being together in each other's company, of being present in what we were just taking in. All this worrying and obsession that we do when we worry about the future and we worry about, should I be there? Should I not be there? It really didn't matter. It really was so unnecessary, because when you know that you have to make a change, it becomes clear to you. We're both in a place of noticing synchronicities, and that's also helpful. It doesn't have to be blatantly clear where it feels like the universe is slapping you in your face and you're like, wow, I have to really alter my life and make a 180-degree change. But sometimes it can be just clear in these subtle pushes. And I wasn't being pushed out of LA. I was very voluntarily doing this geographic exploration and clinging to this idea of relocation for reasons that have to do with what I'll get into now. Whatever you desire, the reason that you desire, the thing that you desire, the person, the place, the thing, the experiences, is because who you're going to become along that journey. It's really just a place and a destination, a direction, and it could be that direction, it could be this direction, it could be this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. You think your desire is supreme, you think it's the highest desire and it needs to be fulfilled immediately. If you feel that way, that's fine, but know that you might be redirected. Know that what is best for you might be something else. Know that your desires, if you really actually believe that they're coming into your field, you wouldn't be obsessed and clinging and desperate around it. You'd feel more ease, more peace, more flow, more grace in moving towards them. So rather than me kind of coming into this experience with, do I need to live here? Do I need to relocate? Well, I like the tiles, but it's a little slippery with the rain. And no, I could just be like, at the end of this time that I'm in Portugal, let me evaluate if it felt like a place that I would consider living. The end. So that's the way it is often with trying to control the future, trying to meet our desires, trying to have this clinging. And it's easier said than done to detach from desire, but notice that it's a lot of fear, or when it's a lot of fear that's pushing you to make changes in your life. Notice when it's not coming from a place of, I would love this, and it feels possible. Why doesn't it feel possible? Why don't you believe and trust in yourself yet to experience what is best for you? That was also kind of a piece of the oracle card reading that we did. It's about the reality of what's best for us is sometimes not what we desire. And that's the unfortunate truth too. When we start getting really attached to the things that we want and the way that we want them, not only are we blocking out other opportunities, but those opportunities might be even better and healthier for us. They might be more authentic to you. And we don't notice, we can't always dig into the depths of our subconscious and unconscious as to the conditioning that's contributing to our reason for the desire. There's so much information and content sometimes that we're taking in. We don't realize we're being brainwashed into desiring things in the material world. But our soul, that's what we need to connect with. Our spirit. It takes getting really quiet sometimes, tapping into the stillness to just listen to your voice more often, listen to the silence within you, listen to your heart. See what excites you, see what actually lights your heart up, see what feels like well-being. And coming back to LA, I actually felt deep gratitude for being here because it's a place that's really healthy for me. I feel expansive here. I feel the ability to be self-expressed here. Anything that's for you will allow you to feel your expansive version of self. What is for you will allow you to feel expression. You'll feel an opening at the very least. And then it's about you cultivating more of that feeling and allowing yourself more permission to be more of your full version of self, whatever that looks like, to experience that in certain places, around certain people, with certain things. Sometimes our desires are just trying to be keys to unlock us into a more whole version of self. When I think back to desires I had, they were always about healing on a subconscious level. Whether I was moving towards an acting career, that was really about being seen and heard, validated publicly, etc., and also being able to express a lot of my evil self. I say evil jokingly, but my shadow self. I played a lot of villain characters. But being able to express that monstrous version of self more publicly was very cathartic to me because I kept that version of myself so tucked away and hidden. And then when it came to pursuing certain jobs, I always thought that it was going to unlock something for me of a feeling of wealth, usually a feeling of richness. But I came to find out that that feeling was always available to me to release the scarcity mindset, to move into a state of feeling more abundant, more able to just choose to live the life that I desire to live and have the level of freedom that I do financially now. There are so many stories that we have behind why we want these certain desires, and it's worth you taking the time to examine them. It came up for me even in meeting a certain person. I was like, oh yeah, like they're going to help me dress better. And I was like, Anissa, just help yourself. Just help yourself. Help yourself dress the way that you just aspire to dress rather than being this version of self. And this version of self we also love. I had this moment, I went thrifting and I got this sweater and I went into the thrift experience saying, no more tie-dye, no more tie-dye. What did I do? I bought more tie-dye. Because there's just this subconscious part of me that just needed to overpower and take the lead. And it's just what's best for me. I need to wear more tie-dye. That's what it is. So I think this ties into what's best for us. It's not necessarily what we say that we want. Sometimes there's a higher level of consciousness that's trying to work through us to move us through the world, is my belief. I definitely enjoy that level of partnership with my non-physical, spiritual team in moving through the world. And if you've gotten to the level that you've cultivated a relationship with yours, I applaud you. If you haven't gotten to that level or you haven't had that experience and you don't even care to or believe in that, just connect with the silence within you. Be able to just tune into yourself and your truth and your intuition. There's so much power in you becoming more intuitive, because these desires, why are they always external? They're always fixated on these external things, but it's always about the feeling. It's always about having this level of feeling, and that feeling we have the ability to cultivate within ourselves. We have the ability to experience the joy, the deepest love, all of the things that we desire. We have the ability to experience them now. Not only that, but the things that you desire, you're allowed to have excitement about them coming into your life before they even come into your life. You're excited to be like, oh, I'm going to meet the love of my life. I can't wait. I don't know the timing. I don't know who the person. I don't know what form they'll come in. But I'm really excited. And you can live in that place. You're allowed to be delusional sometimes about the things that are coming into your life. You're allowed to relish in that joy. You're allowed to let that joy overflow onto others. We need that more now than ever, to have more people who feel faith in their overflow of love, faith in their ability to, if not this, then something else, redirect. Your resilience when you don't have your desires actually met. So if we cling too much to these desires, what often happens is unhappiness, resentment. It's not coming in the timing that we want. It's just like this heavy weight in my life. I'm just being pulled down, dragged. I'm being dragged by this desire. I need it. It wants me, but it's so hard and it's resistance. And it doesn't have to be that way. We don't have to operate in that way, nor are we the best knowers of what's best for us. Just get to the place of humility where you just have a desire. You're like, that would be wonderful. If not, something wonderful, I'm sure, at some point in time is going to come around the corner, and we can lose faith on that. And in those times that we do, take care of yourself. See how you can be more giving to others and what their needs are. See how you can step outside of yourself a little bit more. That's also been a big lesson for me when I get a little fixated on what my desire is. It's not the most selfless period of my life. It's the time at which I'm getting a little too obsessed with the Anissa ego. The ego is like trying to create this clinging to the desire as well. And what needs to overpower the ego? Our heart. Our heart is such a powerful magnet to attract in the things that we want. It's also just the best redirective force, just repelling all the bullshit. Take time to sit quietly, 30 minutes at least each day. I need to do more of this too. And just tap into the wisdom of your heart and just breathe into your heart, sitting in silence, closing your eyes, and really giving yourself spaciousness. To send yourself love, to say, I love you. That's a thing. Sometimes we get ruminated and attached to overthinking about our desires because we want to almost abandon self rather than just connect with self. We want the fixation to be external rather than back where it needs to be, which is on you. You deserve the attention. You deserve the love. You deserve to put the focus on yourself. And by filling up on yourself, then you have love to give to other places, to other people, to other things. So it's not bad to have desires. I think desires are really fun. I think we can create additional suffering in our lives when we overcling or overfixate it on what the desire should look like, the way that it should show up, the timing in which it should show up. All these shoulds, never a good sign. So I'm sending you so much love in the days ahead and tuning into having desires with some levity, saying, desire, I look forward to you being in my life, whatever timing. Could be sooner than later, but whatever timing works for you. I trust you. Thank you, universe, for all the support and letting me receive all the things that I want / are best for me, because I don't even know best. Sometimes I choose the wrong thing. So appreciate the redirections. Very long, very long conversation with your spirit guides or the universe or energy. So I'm sending you love. Appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. If you're listening on audio, leave a little review. And I appreciate you being here.